Hello, everyone, and welcome to the sixth and final episode of The Ravening War here on Dimension 20. I will be your humble Dungeon Master for the remainder of this final episode, Matthew Mercer. Let's go ahead and say hi to our scrumptious scoundrels. Say hi, scrumptious scoundrels.
Hi, scrumptious scoundrels.
Chewed up an eraser.
You've been it. You've been it.
You have bits of eraser on your lips.
Do I? Yeah. Yeah. It's right there, dude. That is commitment to a gesture.
I know. I've never been watching a bit committed to so hard while I couldn't say anything.
Yeah.
I was seeing it and I couldn't say anything.
We good? Are we good?
You're in bit limbo. Yeah, you're great.
You're just gonna be picking pieces of eraser out of your teeth for a
I
little
am,
while.
yeah.
That to me sounds like you're ready.
Racing.
As our unlikely troop of allies and friends over these many years of war have come together and trekked beneath the city of Pangranos as war begins to rage above. You follow the mycelium network and the Saprofian fungal folk, discovering strange phrases, discussions of an event where this mycelium heart has made a deal, been convinced to work with the FDA, the Sanctus Putris, to release toxic spores into the throes of this war above and wipe out a mass number of Calorum's strongest. The following decay, spreading across the land, will be enough to keep the hungry one at bay and save the world from an eventual apocalypse. Or so they seem to believe. You may have your own unique ideas of where they tread. By pushing through these caverns, slaughtering members of this strange Illuminati society, treating with some of these Saprofians, asking them questions, making friends, telling them to stay safe and out of your way. You've gathered robes and through illusion and deception, approached the center of the Saprophis society, where there is a massive Colosseum cathedral-like structure of ancient stone, the Mycelium gathering in brilliant glowing blue light. You step past the guards, ascend the steps, and enter the open doorway that leads to the chamber within. As you rise to the apex of the stairs and glance over, you can see the vibrant glow within this long, oval-shaped room. This is ancient grain stone and petrified wheat products, massive, long-dried and carved buns, bagels, muffins, things that have been brought here as symbols of what once and still decays in the lands above Syresia, and here reside as symbols of what feeds the people of this land. Monuments to that which is left behind and forgotten, discarded to fall away and bring life to this fungus, to this heart of the Mycelium, and the people that live with and around it. Within this chamber, you also see a number of cloaked figures, hooded and robed. A number of remaining members of the architects sit facing towards the back of the chamber, where within these old ruins, this majestic, gargantuan gathered cluster of pulsing fungus forms a singular being, this incredible, overwhelming entity that fills the entire back side of the room, rising up and clinging to the ceiling and creating the ceiling above. This pulsing mass, all the light being pulled from the mycelium into it. This is the heart of Saprophis. This is the heart of the world that you touched 5 years before. And there you see it. Incredible, more than you could have imagined. As you begin to step past the threshold, the blueberry guard that escorted you along the way shouts out to break the low chanting and murmuring of these gathered members of the Sanctus Putris. Archbishop, sorry to bother you. You might like to see what has been caught. And with that ushers the approach of your troop. As you begin to step further in, you hear the sound of a large, ancient stone biscuit that rotates in to close the doorway behind you. There you see in the central chamber a number of Saprofian warriors that kind of merged with the perimeter gathered mold and fungus that fills the exterior walls of this ruin. Broken stone itself now swollen and corroded with the fungus that represents the core of this subterranean nation. As these warriors kind of step out to flank, the robed figures turn. And there atop the stone platform that meets the base of the heart, you see the now full standing appearance, hood back, of the Archbishop herself, Camille Cauliflower, the wattle hanging over the edge of the robe, bright eyes, and a wide grin that I think only you've seen in key, terrifying moments. She holds to her right a Bulbian staff where an alien metal has gathered, like the natural crystals within a cavern, spikes jutting in all directions, not unlike the one that you recovered, though larger in its haloed, terrifying mass. You also see another robed figure pull the hood back as the twisted pasta hair reveals itself. The Senator Ariana looking over in your direction and stepping from what you thought was a mass of fungus connected to this heart. A 10 to 12 foot tall Saprofian creature with a wide cap, a wrinkled, withered face into a scowl, what looks to be these deep, sunken, pale eyes that glimmer with an odd color as it kind of crawls its way forward, hunched and bent. You see and assume this to be the elder of the Saprofians. As they all begin to step forward kind of to the central portion of this chamber before the Archbishop to see what's being presented, the Archbishop raises her hands and staff. By what wondrous fortune brings the two of you to us? I cannot help but question as to what unique possibilities have brought you on your knees to us. And as she says, on your knees, there's like an expectant wait.
I immediately push down Amongo. That felt kind of good.
Looks over to you.
I notice that Raphaniel isn't pushing me, so I go, ugh, and I feel myself.
I think Raphaniel seeing the heart of the world and is
Together.
and is
Just a little longer. Keep it together.
I think I do my best to move my body to kind of block in my kneeling. And I'm just trying to like maybe go on like one knee just to block Raphaniel, maybe moving slightly to the left and right. So
Would you put a pastrami sandwich in a smoothie?
what do you mean? Raphaniel, be quiet.
Okay.
Be quiet, be quiet.
Archbishop,
Yep. What?
That's not you.
dude.
All attention goes right to you, Amongo.
The chief and I had united the Meatlands and the Fructerans. We'd been seeking some form of alternate entrance to the city of Syresia for espionage and other strategies that you don't need to know anything about. And we found this place. And together he and I decided that we needed to explore further, and we got caught up in this ridiculous web of yours. Again.
Fortuitous indeed, for I thought our dalliances had come to an end. You helped all of this come to be, knowingly or not. Still, I look upon you, gracious and thankful, grateful, like many before you and many since. You've taken the wisdom and helped save them all.
Telepathically to Karna, I'm going to say,
Do we end it one way or the other?
There is no room for discretion or stealth.
I will subtle upcast shatter on the tightest concentration of them, trying to get the Elder and the Archbishop Camille both.
Well then, let's go ahead and bring out the battle map.
Wow. This is so beautiful.
This looks like this was built a very, very, very long time ago, and it was either constructed by the ancestors of what the current Sephorians are or something before them. But whatever it is filled with all manner of unique fuzzed mold and fungus and mushrooms bursting forth from every corner as all the light is drawn into the center heart. As you gather on that opposite end, I would like you all to roll initiative.
Yeah!
But because you subtle spelled and initiated this, you do get one cast of shatter at the beginning of this.
Cool.
By the nature of what your build was, where would you like that casting to go?
I know that I can't, but I'll go for the Archbishop and anyone else I can reach.
You can maybe get that other one there, and that's all you can get.
So I'll get those two then.
Okay.
And it's going to be upcast, and it's a subtle spell. So there's something very violent happens, but there's no indication that it was
The earthquakes are back.
The earthquakes, wow.
Oh my God, not
We must be
again.
on a fault line.
What is happening?
Definitely on a fault
Is it
line.
us?
And I think I reflexively squeeze onto the piece of steel I'm holding as I reach in for this shatter ability.
You have it. Go for it. Roll damage.
Okay, not bad. That's going to be 20. 20 points of thunder damage.
20 points of damage. That's great. What is the DC?
DC is 16 Constitution.
Gotcha. The bishop got 18, and the other figure got 16 exactly.
Okay.
So that's 10 damage to each of them, I believe. As they're in the middle of this conversation, and the elder is like turning to speak in that direction, as you're all kind of taking in the surroundings, the still silence, the eye contact, the churning of wheels within your heads of what's about to happen. This massive detonation of sound and force just bursts across the chamber. You watch as the Archbishop is like nearly thrown to the side, catching herself on her staff, as one of the other figures over here kind of like gets low, and you watch as the robe is almost blown up and part of their lower back is suddenly like damaged and heavily sundered on the side from the impact of whatever this explosion was. As soon as that happens, they all kind of turn and look back to the rest of you, and the Archbishop kind of smiles.
Well, that was exciting.
Initiative for everybody, please, if you don't mind. 25 to 20.
Oh no.
23.
23. Oh.
Ow.
Okay.
Yes, come
what?
on, come on. Well, he's in his element.
Rafe, what you
He's
doing?
in his element.
20 to 15.
18.
18, alrighty. 15 to 10.
11.
14. 12. Nice. So, as that tension is immediately cut in the room, and there is a palpable air of go now. We begin. Rathaniel, with you at the top of the initiative, what would you like to do?
Okay. Everything has come down to this. It's all tunnel vision. The Elder, they slip out of my head. I just see the Archbishop Camille. I'm gonna move 30 feet forward.
Okay.
Take my movement. I'm going to do a combo on Camille again. Still catch the other person in that shatter, but I'll do another upcast shatter. And this time I'm gonna spend a Bardic Inspiration to do unsettling words and minus a D8 from her saving throw.
Beautiful.
Okay, as you're about to go ahead and throw the shatter into place, you see this cloaked figure just kind of go, shh, put a hand up, and the spell vanishes.
No.
In that case, I think I would have used unsettling words as well. So it doesn't work on my spell, but the next saving throw that she makes before the start of that next turn is gonna be -6.
Oh.
You got it. All right, let's keep that in mind. Mark that, Nathaniel. Does that finish your turn?
That finishes my turn.
All right, Colin, you are up next.
Okay. Colin is out of his depth. He's gonna look around and see this person do the counter spell or do something to stop Nathaniel. And he's gonna do a full dash up to that guy.
Okay.
So he's at 80 feet. And arcing hopefully away from the elder.
25, 30, 35, 40, and then you're...
Hopefully, being around, if I possibly can.
Yeah, so you're like...
And yeah, with cunning action.
30, 35, 40 will get you there, and then with cunning action, you can definitely get into combat with that figure.
And I'm just going to attack.
Let's do it.
I can't be having that. A 19?
19 hits.
Okay, and that will be with sneak attack because I'm swashbuckling.
Indeed.
Okay, so that is 7, 8, 15 damage, and then they have to do the DC 15 con save.
Con save? No, that's a 13.
Okay, so on their turn, they'll take a D4 of wounding damage. So I'm just hitting that guy, and then I'm gonna. Then I'm like, I'm just gonna keep going.
Go for it.
Oh, that is only a 12.
12 unfortunately misses. The first strike, however, does sink deep into their body, and as you withdraw the blade and go for a second one, they kind of pull away, and just with a wave of their hand, like this little blast of arcane energy kind of deflects the weapon.
Okay. Just kind of looking over my shoulder at the giant elder. We'll see how this goes.
The elder would just like, kind of slowly turning in that direction. One eye kind of scoots over and looks in the direction of the Archbishop. Does that finish your turn?
Yes.
Alrighty. It is now the Archbishop's turn. The Archbishop on the staff goes,
oh, I wasn't expecting quite a sudden aggressive front.
stands up, turns around and like looks up to the heart above and goes, oh, but the work must be done. The work must be done. Is going to begin chanting. Nenastinish, Despazul, 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 Despazul. That's gonna go ahead.
Like, what do I have as a reaction? There's gotta be something.
Finishing the Archbishop's turn, focusing on this chanting, a figure you did not notice steps from behind that croissant as a voice goes, oh, this is gonna be interesting. And Quiche has been hiding in the shadows.
Quiche!
Oh, but why? We shouldn't be excited.
No, I'm not excited to see him.
Oh, I
It's
thought
actually-
he's on our...
Why?
No.
Why would you
like
think
his
that?
name.
I do too.
It's a fun name to say.
That's mostly what the yelling.
Yeah.
It's not. This is very bad.
As he rushes you, I'm gonna go.
Yeah, it's great.
Because
I got so excited. I was like,
throw you
I was like,
forward.
oh my God, dude, I'm so glad to see you.
Like, it's gonna boom. We're a union, but business is business. And he like throws his blade in the air, catches it, goes in with
Uncanny
two.
dodge.
All right, so the first strike is a natural 20.
Oh, no.
That's
but
good.
it-
Uncanny
You know what you
dodge.
really done?
You'll take half.
All right, how many spell slots? you got
I'm
left?
running out of spell slots, man. You know it.
Yeah.
All right, that first strike is now instead just a 23.
Jesus, but it's not a crit.
It is not a crit.
Okay. And I give myself advantage.
All righty. And so the second strike against you, this offhand, is going to be a natural 19.
Yep,
So
they both hit.
2 hits on you, but not a crit, which you'll have off for that. So the first one is going to be 9 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
As just streaks across you. The second one is going to be, it's only 4 points of slashing damage.
Does that include the halving because of the uncanny dodge?
Now, the uncanny dodge would have reduced the first one, which was, I think, 9 points of damage, what I said.
Okay.
So 9 becomes a 4.
Okay, all right.
So 4 and 4, so 8 damage total. As you go forward and he strikes you the first time, you kind of pull back and with your blade parry it and it kind of catches your shoulder and he kind of, for a moment, looks impressed and goes, okay, not too bad. You've been working out. And takes the other blade and jams it right into the sternum. You pull away, preventing it from piercing deep to any major organs, but it does cut into and you're like, oh, you withdraw from the blade. And that's going to go ahead and finish his turn. The end of Quiche's go. Karna, you're up with Deli on deck.
Sweet. As I exclaim my silvery barbs and push Amongo away, I just want to check in with Raphaniel and go, Cauliflower, we have to stop her.
You just hear scrambling, weeping, crying.
Go ahead and hang up that.
Go ahead and hang that up, yeah.
Okay, interesting. I'm going to go invisible and movement and bonus action dash as quietly as I can, and I'm just making my way for her.
Full movement of
30.
35. 30. 30 will get you about there.
Cool.
We're gonna go ahead and mark this here as your invisibility spot, as you are not currently seen on the battlefield.
There is.
All right, that's your go. Finishing Karna's go. Delisandro, you're up with Go on deck.
I think during most of this, and now kind of all over the place, Deli has had his eyes mostly on Gamelli. Matt, can I ask, when would have been the last time I corresponded with her?
I guess that's up to you. After you finished the assassination of Queen Rox, you would have been initiating any future correspondence.
I think I probably would have written to her once after that.
I think she would have responded, but it would have taken some time and it would have been rather short. Just saying, things are a bit messy here in Ceresia. I have a lot to focus on. Maybe some point soon we can meet up and have a coffee.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
And then would you have told me about your time with her in Ceresia?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. And you would have very much gleaned in your short time there that she had not just recently, but long been saddled up with Fakasha as a prospective partner in both political ventures and personal.
They fucking.
I think at this moment, there's a lot going on.
I'd say that.
Would you have ever-
That feels true.
Would Deli have ever told Karna about?
I think I maybe would have told you that the entanglement. Would you have asked me any more about the romantic entanglement that I put forward as baseline trust?
Not based on that, but if I clocked any sort of like reaction when I told you I had like worked even tangentially around her.
There definitely would have been an attempt to hide something that you maybe would have clocked.
I like to think I clocked it, and I was very sad.
I think I'm going to move like 30 feet in her direction, getting up, dropping the masquerade, 30. And just, you lied. You lied to me. You told me if I united the Meatlands, that you would be there, that you would come.
I did not lie. It was Basha that united them.
I saved myself.
Oh!
This guy's a virgin?
I wanted to be slammed down big style as the bulb rose. You lied! You lied! I lied to my kin, betrayed my mother for you! I'm gonna close.
All right, that's 30. 35, 40. What's your speed?
My speed is 40, I have reach of 10.
Okay, so hold on, there's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. So yeah, you cannot quite close the distance unless you want to use your action to dash. Or you can throw your speed.
I think I'm gonna throw detritus. Detritus.
Come on.
I'm going to chuck it. Yeah.
Yes.
And this will mean you are 5 feet short, and so this means that you will not have a reach weapon to defend yourself with in the entire coming round.
Yep.
Can you get it back? You can get it back.
I'm pissed. I'm gonna go into a rage.
Go for it.
Oh, no.
I can do it.
That's a 17.
17 still hits?
Okay, thank God.
AC was 16 on that.
Yeah. Okay, great. I'm gonna chuck detritor.
You got it.
Great. I re-roll ones. It's another 1. I chuck my magical named weapon to do 10 points of damage.
Hey, 10 points of damage is better than none.
Hey, thank you, Matt. Thanks for saying that.
That's what I'm here
But yeah, I chucked a triter at her.
There's a moment that confidence that she always carries, and even held until the moment that you screamed in her face. You see her trying to find words to manipulate her way out of any sort of guilt or worry and try and turn it back around on you like she is so good at doing. But she begins to falter as in but a split second, every muscle in your torso pulls, retracts, and reflexively throws this thing with a massive amount of strength as it catches her in the hip and pierces in about 6 inches, still sticking out. She holds it like, and she looks at you and is about to retort before she kind of like looks a bit confused and starts looking over her shoulder towards the Archbishop, listening to the chanting. Does that finish your turn?
Well, yes, that'll be it.
Okay, that finishes your go. That brings us now to you.
Okay, I'm going to disengage, use my bonus action to disengage. I want to get as far forward as I can, which is 30 feet.
So right,
30
a little
feet.
bit ahead of Raffaello right there would be straight.
And I am going to shoot at the Archbishop.
Go for
My
it.
little hand crossbow.
Hand crossbow, alrighty.
Fuck. Yeah, that doesn't do anything, I'm sure. It's 11.
11, unfortunately, does not hit the Archbishop. He goes wide, sticks into one of the clusters of soft, spongy fungus on the outside of the heart.
I thought I got better over these few years, but apparently I didn't. I don't have any more things to do, so I will just protect. I just want to protect Raffaello. Keep an eye on Raffaello.
You've got it. All right, that finishes your go. The elder, who's like, is looking towards the Archbishop and goes, and begins like to talk in this like weird flapping mouth, but it sounds just like this, like it's just imitating what it's seen as speech. And those of you who have connected with the spores, you hear in the tail end of it, leaving your system, this voice go,
"It must be done. All must be sundered. The cycle broken. Kalura must be sundered."
And is going to go ahead and move forward. And all of these different pockets in its body open as spores fire out in a 10-foot radius around it. So I need Raffaello, I need a Mongo, and I need you, Sir Colin Provolone, to make a Constitution saving throw for me, please.
13.
7. 4 on the die for 2.
Okay. 13, 7, and 4. All of you take 9 points of poison damage.
Temporary hit points, temporary hit points, temporary hit points, yeah.
Not 3.
And you are all considered poisoned for the time being. You can retake the saving throw at the end of your turn.
Sorry, no more heroism. Lost concentration.
Okay. The heroism fades.
Dude.
Hey, man, I'm a scared old man.
Oh, buddy.
That finishes the Elder's turn. It is now the other cloaked FDA members. At this point now, Senator Ariana, who's looking a bit frazzled, looks back at the Archbishop and goes, "What are you talking about? We're supposed to go after Pangranos. This is to reduce their armies to decay, to save the world. What are you talking about?" And you start listening in now to the phrases and the chanting that the Archbishop is saying between the Deus Pazul, break the cycle, bulb and hungry. They are but 2 of the 3. The 3 before us must now fall as well. The cycle will be broken, life rendered, nothing but shadow, darkness. Deus Pazul, the teeth come and take everything to nothing. Deus Pazul. And you see like this genuine confusion and fear in the face of the senator. She like takes the spear out and throws it to the ground and looks at you and goes like, this is wrong. And with that, she turns and races towards
Nice.
the Archbishop. Does pass you, should you be inclined to take an opportunity attack. At this point, she's going to go ahead and reach out to grab the Archbishop and try and shake her. And as she does, the Archbishop just kind of continues chanting, and you see the body kind of like quaking as her arms go up, the staff still grasping in her hand. The most perceptive of us in this troop notice that the metal on the staff is growing. It is extending slowly from the edge. At this sight, the senator gets nervous and takes a blade out and goes to go ahead and jam it into the hip. That actually hits.
Oh, good job.
That's great. Okay, Strand, that's 8 points of damage. Okay, the Archbishop kind of head turns back to look towards her, the blood kind of curling out the corner of the chin. And just keeps repeating it. The senator gets nervous and pulls the blade and kind of takes a step back and looks across the room to the rest of you with this genuinely seen many ghosts expression on her face. That's gonna end her go, as this figure is gonna go ahead and shift around here to try and kind of push you up against this box and pulls out a short sword and is gonna strike towards you for a natural 1. Goes to swing and just kind of slips on some of the fungus and lands on their side and has to scramble to get back up, holding the blade with both hands. I got you. Don't worry.
That's humiliating.
Shut up! It's my big moment.
Is it? Wow, this is what you consider a big moment?
Sad.
The other one who led you and escorted you in begins to give chase. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Rushing up behind you, Raphaniel. Blade out. And it's gonna go ahead and attempt to stab you from behind. For a natural 2. That's gonna be an 8.
He's spry now. as well.
Yeah. I will dodge it. I'm just in a blur. I'm in a blur.
You got it. And with that, the rest of the armored Sephorans begin to close in. As they charge in, the other one comes forward with its axe, kind of following forward, looking a bit perturbed, but does not have the sense of conscious thought in the midst of this chaos to make any choices beyond what it was commanded to do. And that one will swing towards you with a natural 20, Raphaniel.
With a natural 20 to me, huh? Let's go ahead and silvery barbs that, if we could be so kind.
To a natural 1. My God. Okay.
Raise the bow.
That's insane.
I'm gonna give myself that advantage.
You've got it. You hear the footsteps coming up from behind and the quick of the blade being pulled from the sheath. And with that, you turn around, release that instinctual blast of dark blessing energy towards it. And as you do, it almost seems to recognize something within and kind of withdraw the blade, not even making the attack in the final moment. The one that's coming after you, Amango, is gonna go ahead and attempt to strike you with the blade for, it's gonna be a 17 to hit.
Just barely hits. But do I do it? Silvery barbs.
You gonna do it?
Yeah, I do. I don't have enough hit points to be hit.
Natural 1, what the fuck?
We're too fast. We're quick like a cat. We're quick like a cat.
It's all good, it's all good. Burn the spell slots. Burn the spell slots. Burn the spell slots quickly.
Yeah.
All right. That's gonna go ahead and finish the combat round. The energy of the mycelium pulses, and all of you feel this kind of overwhelming sense of confusion, sadness, worry, and disappointment that kind of just fills the air. The energy almost becomes electric with emotion. You sense the heart itself is confused about what's transpiring. You're not sure from which side or which angle. To the top of the round, Raphaniel, you're up with Colin on deck.
Holding the steel. I've been seeing it all my life. I had visions of a blender, of teeth preparing a delicious smoothie, of a unity that even the bulb could not provide. What a fool I was. The teeth are not there to unite us. They are not there for us to be consumed.
And I think even as axes and swords are raining down around me, I hold this alien piece of steel and I look and hear the words, the heresy, that there are beings even beyond the Hungry One. The Hungry One is the enemy. It's part of our theology. It completes the cycle of the bulb. It is a part of this. There are things even more alien and otherworldly. And I hear the chanting and I finally understand. Despasul, desposul. And I go, what is food if never on is fed? When with strange disposals even death lies dead. And I am.
Damn. Wow. It's cool when GMs and other GMs like do people. That's great. That's good. That was nice.
We speak things. We speak things too. We speak words.
Disposal. The fuck? No! I am gonna look at you, Amongo. I'm gonna let the steel clatter to the floor. I'm not its champion. It already has its champions. One more thing that has not chosen me. And I'm going to look at you. Look at you. We're back to back here. I reach in, I pull out the shard of the bulb, and I'm going to look at you and telepathically say, "You must promise me that you will survive this. I am so glad that you are as devious as I could have hoped. Blessings for your child. I thought I had robbed that from you."
She just immediately tears just spring to her face. She's at a complete loss.
A sachet of tea is what they left on my windowsill. And I want you to know, Lady Amango, I saw to poisoning your late husband as many times as I could. And I never meant for it to rob you of a day of joy. So I am glad that you took those matters into your own hands.
This is what happens. No, she's just looking at these guys like, now, really now.
It's gotta be now, because I'm about to flip out.
Oh,
and,
no.
and I'm going to move and cunning action dash, and I begin shouting, "Resplendent light upon us from above, for in the grace of the bulb we shall all be made clean. May its great glory gift us all with the promise of eternal joy." And I'm charging straight to the heart of the mycelium network.
Okay. As you move past, shouting this, and it begins to glow, you watch as the elder winces in the presence of the large burst of light, and you charge forward.
As he passes, Karna, you just feel like a hand on your shoulder and then a push to keep you going.
Okay, so with that moving through, that's 30.
Mm-hmm.
You said you move 40?
I'm gonna move 60, because I'm gonna move and dash.
You get right up to where the mycelium is. As you hold the light aloft, you can see like the pulsing energy of it kind of recoils, and you feel that fear and confusion once more here in the center. The light of the sun is a frightful presence to beings of subterranean darkness and dried fungal life. You just watch it begin to retract a bit, just slightly within itself as you rush forward alongside where both the Archbishop and the Senator stand. The Archbishop kind of just convulsing and looking back at the Senator chanting. And as you rush up, the Senator's head kind of like looks back towards you, and the chanting stops as you charge forward with it in your hand and just says,
"You've always been chosen, and it's still time to join us."
What do you do, Ravenia?
I have an action left. Can I make an insight check in this moment?
Yes, you may.
To see if she is being genuine, that I could join this secret organization? Okay, I'm gonna use my advantage here. Insight, that's a 22.
22. Blood running from her mouth, the blade wound in the back of the robe. Now you can see drizzling out that like dark, deep, verdant green blood of the Archbishop. Her eyes trained on you, bright, wide, smiling, There is nothing but honesty here. You've carried the seed this whole time, and you've been brought here at the right moment. You merely just take the hand of the Deus Pazul and join them all in resplendent annihilation.
Knowing that it's an honest offer, and that the secret society that runs the world finally wants to invite me to their ranks. My lip trembles.
Don't leave me. Don't leave me.
I'm going to telepathically look back at you and say, I'm so sorry that I must disappoint, but hopefully you'll understand why. You had your chance. I'm no one's pawn. And I'll use my action for another 30 feet of movement to dive into the mycelium with the glowing light.
Oh, what? Okay. You leap within the fungal growth. As the light trails in, lights from within, you watch as masses of the mycelium begin to pull back, and you see it begin to quiver and twist. The bullet elder that you see over there, who is already wincing from the light, goes and pulls back. You can hear echoing through the upper windows throughout the Colosseum, thousands and thousands of Saprofians screaming, echoing through the subterranean tunnels. Does that finish your turn?
That finishes my turn.
All righty.
Oh, all right.
Sir Colin Provolone.
Oh God. Without him go, I was trying to hit this person so that he could go for her. And now that he is gone, I'm changing targets. I'm gonna disengage right here and get to her.
You got it.
I think I can do that in 40 feet.
Oh yeah, easily. You charge up next to the senator, still clutching her blade and kind of reeling from the sudden tiny shriveled radish man that full on like Superman dove into the center of the Saprofian mycelium.
I'm just going like, this doesn't feel great, but I'm just gonna take some attacks on this old lady.
Go for it.
Yeah, kill that lady. Kill
That lady.
Dirty 20 on the first attack.
That definitely hits.
The second attack is 18.
Yeah, both hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Cool. So the first one was a sneak attack. Ooh, 2 1s on the 6s? Come on.
That sucks.
So that's 8, 9, 16 damage on the first hit, and then the second hit is another 12. So
12.
28 damage.
Great. So you rush forward and like slice and then stab with the blade. She like takes both hits and like the body begins to crumple forward a little bit. And you're waiting for it to fall. It has that kind of like arch as it stumbles forward and stops. And then rises back up to its full height. Her like elongated, odd old woman form now up shoulders to about where your eye line is. Her tiny cauliflower head just kind of resting about 6 inches above the top of your head.
She's taller than me now?
She is, like her hunched form is now just stood up straight.
Damn, she's very cool.
And then I guess she has to make the con save.
That's
for
true.
both hits.
That's a natural 3. Second one is a natural 18, so yeah. So she has one of those on her.
Okay, well, it's like we have to stop her.
That finishes your turn? All right, it's now the Archbishop's turn. As you vanished into this center of the mycelium, and the rest of you are kind of taking in this chaos around you, what's happening, what's going on, what's the chanting mean? The Archbishop just starts laughing. He's coming. And you watch as the shoulders tear out the back of the robe. The muscles themselves bulging and ripping, extending. She rises up even taller than before. You watch as the claws of her hands extend in these long, thin metallic blades at the tip of each finger. She turns around, the cauliflower clusters in the side of the head, visible these wide, pale eyes. And where the mouth was, this large, gaping, 8-foot hole to a black void sits in the center of the torso, where layers of metal teeth just spin in opposition of each other, grinding with a familiar whining metal sound.
Oh no!
Oh no!
nasty.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
Oh no, no,
Wait,
no.
No.
This is a character that was in my backstory. There's a mini with a bunch of bad teeth. Oh no!
There are no words, just a grinding sound within. You watch as she raises her hands and portions of the ground begin to shake. Elements of the floor tear open as similar vacuous voids of spinning teeth begin to open in the ground around her.
No! Oh my god!
Like it.
Oh my god!
And that's going to finish the Archbishop's turn.
Yo!
Well, shit.
Oh, good.
Quiche on the opposite side goes, "What the fuck is going on here?" No!
Yeah, right? No.
Exactly.
As the blades grind in and you feel this like pull of air towards them, Quiche has to make a strength saving throw. And fails with a 10. Quiche gets drawn into the center of the jaws and begins to grind him up. You just hear him start screaming. He takes 28 points of piercing damage.
I'd be fucking dead. Instantly dead.
Oh, Keto.
I don't like this.
Help.
And he's just screaming on the inside of there. He can't do much in the middle of the blades. That's going to end Quiche's turn. Now it comes to Karna's go. Karna, you're seeing this begin to emerge in the center of the battlefield. These grinding, open, almost otherworldly portals of destruction. What do you do?
Oh, she's like, even as she's running forward, wiping tears away from hearing Deli's confession of love to Ariana. And I think that like last little bit of hope that she's been holding on to for years is gone. This is bad, but this she can do. So I'm gonna move and get around the nasty cauliflower disposal monster.
Yeah, you can definitely do that.
And we're gonna fuck her up
You got it. You can
from behind.
get it.
Holy shit! Use
put
my
some-
advantage from myself
Let me go ahead and get my thing here.
for a 25 to hit.
That definitively hits.
All right, and it's a green flame blade attack.
Hell yes.
And we're gonna stack psychic blades. We have sneak attack because we gave ourselves advantage.
Incredible.
And we're gonna use Reaper's ability. I need you to make a DC 15 con save.
DC 15 con save. That's that's going to be a 12.
Okay, so we're gonna add 2d10 on top of everything else.
Chop.
I'm in shit.
The board got so bad. Okay.
Quiche screams,
Oh, wow.
you know.
Okay.
Nobody feels good about those.
36, is that right?
36 points of damage.
Oh, no. 40.
40 points of damage
40.
to the avatar of Deus Pazu. You stab right into the back of where these like newly grown alien muscles protrude in an odd pattern across what was once the Archbishop. As you pull back, you watch as just black, thick tar-like liquid pours out. That was a pretty hefty wound you've left. You're uncertain if it's even noticed or phased, but it was delivered. And it looks ugly.
The green flame blade's also gonna catch Jameli for 5 points
Oh yeah.
of damage because she can go fuck herself.
She's starting to look kind of hurt now.
You know what? She can have the other 3 too. I used my whales from the grave to hit her with extra 3 necrotic.
I fucking love 40 points of religious retribution and 8 points of petty.
That's what I'm here for.
It's a beautiful meal balance. That's what that is.
It's all part of a balanced breakfast.
Beautiful. Karna, is that your turn?
That's me.
All right, finishing it up. Delisandro, you're up with Amango on deck.
Can I make perception checks on the elder and the Mycenaean people around me to see how they feel about what is going down?
Sure.
Natural 20.
They are all freaking the fuck out.
Okay, great.
Even the other like surrounding cultists are not okay with this, and the only thing that's unfazed is the elder.
I watch the turnip man sprint 90 feet in a round and jump in, which I think brings my attention up here watching all this happen. I'm gonna go 5 feet to go grab my spear and then go run up. I have 35 more feet of movement. I'd like to get within 10 feet of the avatar.
Right there, you can definitively get 10 feet next to your previous almost lover.
I don't like how smoothly we slid into the avatar just being something that's being said at the table. We're just saying
the avatar of
the avatar.
Deus Bazil. I'll sidle up with my old friend on my right and the woman I wanted to slam me down big style on my left. And then the person who's been trying to slam me down big style on the other side. And we'll just get into this nasty stew. And I'll just take an attack on.
Go for it.
All right, here we go. Oh, cock.
It's cocked, yeah.
Yeah, first one's 29.
29 definitely hits.
Second one is 30.
Woo, definitely hits.
And then I'll bonus action with the backside of Detritor for a 27. So
yeah.
2d10 and 1d4. Okay, 11 plus 18 is 29.
29.
And then 6 more on top of that. 35 points of damage, 3 strikes.
Shoot, whack on the side. The creature takes the hits. There's no reaction and expression. The expression is just this fallen, gaping, mindless scream where the sound that emerges from this hole is just the grinding of metal and endless darkness beyond it. It's terrifying.
Do I get the sense I could take a 5-foot step back without leaving its threatened area? Oh, well, I do have mobile, so I will take a step back.
All right, so end of your turn?
That is the end of my turn.
End of your turn is going to use legendary action.
Oh, no.
Use Pull of the Void Teeth.
No! You have to attack from the blind
I don't like
spot.
when Matt says the name of things. All right, and they're going to use reverse ultimatum. And you're like, what the fuck? I've been playing this game for years. I've never heard of it. I have no context.
I'm going to need you to go ahead and make a strength saving throw.
I have no context. Okay.
Is it just him?
It's just him.
That's going to be 14.
Advantage, right? Rage?
I am raging, yes.
Yeah.
Woo! Rub on our rules layer.
Yeah!
That's going to be
Call us
a
now.
16.
16 is what you needed.
Yay! Sorry, I'm really loud.
I don't even know what I'm afraid of.
So instead of being pulled the 30 feet towards it, you only get pulled 15.
Oh, which is exactly...
Against it.
That ends your turn.
Oh, I don't like that it has a set up legendary action. That it has a get him in legendary action.
Get him in!
Amongo, it's top of your turn. I need you to make a strength saving throw as you feel the air pulling you towards one of these.
Come on, Amongo.
Let's just say it now. These open disposals.
If anyone has anything to help me roll after this, I would really appreciate
You used
it.
silvery barbs a little while ago, and I don't know if you gave it to your
Oh, yeah,
advantage.
who'd you give your advantage?
Oh, I didn't give my advantage to anyone. Am I allowed to give it to myself?
You are
We all have done that.
Yeah,
Then
Yeah.
I shall give it to
Go for it.
myself. Okay, excellent. Okay, what was the saving throw? Strength? Okay, that's a 17.
Okay.
That's a 1, so we'll use the 17.
17 is enough. As it tugs on you, you manage to withstand the pull, and you may take your turn as normal without being pulled into the disposal.
Gosh, Christ. As I look at this creature, how much of it is metal?
From what you can see visibly right now, these massive claws that just kind of strike from and pierce the flesh of the rest of the hand and extend for a good 2.5, 3 feet at the end of each finger. And then the mouth around it all appears to be metal. The rest of it looks like at least it resembles the coloration and texture of the Archbishop's previous fleshly state.
I watched him sacrifice himself, and I realized I don't know anything anymore. I'm a horrible person because I didn't have a chance to say goodbye to him. All these things. She just goes running full tilt dash up to the creature.
Okay, you will take 2 opportunity attacks. And
Oh,
dash
then
through,
I
just so
shall
you're aware.
disengage and run 30
Okay.
feet.
Who's still swinging? Who's
25, 30?
disposing?
Okay, I can't reach it that way. All right, I guess I just have to fucking shoot it.
Go for it.
So, 22?
22 hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
Sneak
Did you
attack.
miss your dice?
I specifically wanted to hit his
Yeah,
dice
okay.
tray. This dice tray is not working for us today.
This guy's
We don't like it. We don't like him today. He's not good.
Fair enough.
What is sneak attack? 3d6?
I think it's like 5.
It's 1d6 plus your dexterity mod for the hit, and then it's 5d6 for sneak attack.
Oh no, so many ones!
No!
Fuck me!
This is cursed. This is cursed.
See, I should have used this.
You didn't have to go back to it.
I just heard people say I stole it and I felt bad. 1, 2, 3, 7, and 9 is 16.
16 points of damage from the crossbow shot.
Crossbow shot, do I have anything on it?
Yeah, it's 4.
1d6
sticks.
plus 4, so...
16 plus 4 is 20.
So 20 damage. Still, that doesn't hurt at all.
Not nothing.
Well, it hurts her. Sticks into the left eye and just kind of sinks a few inches into it. She doesn't react.
Damn.
I'm gonna go jump in one.
Do I have... I had movement, I had action, that's it. That's all I got.
End of your turn?
Yeah.
Okay, so use another legendary action to go ahead and use a Void Steel Claw.
Ooh.
One of the hands is going to go ahead and strike out towards you, Colin.
Come on, bro.
That's going to be a 23 to hit.
That hits.
All right. Oh, shit. That is going to be 16 points of slashing damage as the arm blades carve through you like a handful of long butcher knives. All right. The Elder is going to...
Elder, whose team are you on, dog?
Gonna stop about there, and you hear once again in your minds, the two of you connected like...
We've been here too long. All must be rent with nothing.
Oh, God damn it.
Do I feel that coming from the Avatar or from the Elder?
From the Elder.
Okay.
It rears back and unleashes a cloud of spores directly in a 15-foot spray.
Ooh.
I need Delisandro and Sir Colin to make Constitution saving throws for me, please.
Con save is 15.
15? That is a success.
24.
24. Successes to both of you. Neither of you are stunned by the hallucinatory spores.
Stunned? Oh.
Golly.
However, the sweet, sweet senator,
Oh no.
her eyes go wide, her jaw goes slack as she inhales the spores, coughs for a moment, and then just begins to stare forward, unmoving. That's going to finish the Elder's turn. The rest of the FDA members and Sapporians go next. The cluster of purple berries manages to succeed on their strength saving throw against one of them. It is right in the cross-section between two. Fails the other. And gets pulled into the center. Grinding up, you hear another scream. 4.
This is nasty. This is nasty.
Do you think Rafael's like in there going like, I saved the day?
I fucking did it, dude. Don't worry.
Looks like we made it.
I'm a goddamn hero.
Nothing possibly could have happened after that.
No.
It's going to use its actions to try and escape, which is what Quiche failed to do last time. No one rolls a 2. It spends its turn just in there grinding, which means I'll have to do it again at the top of its next turn. Saprofians are going to attempt to make it as well. That one succeeds. The one in the middle of the two, it's only next to one, that one fails. And gets pulled into this one as well, being ground up next to that. Indiscriminately tearing into it. I'll save it the same amount of damage. Which, for that warrior, will be enough, I think.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like we made it.
You see chunks of fungus and armor just go flying and spattering into the nearby bits. The stone tablets that sit high up, framing the sides of the chamber, kind of quiver from the impact of it grinding into the ground. That's gonna go ahead and finish that one's go. This one here, who's very kind of taken aback and scared by this, it's gonna try and run. Just gonna go ahead and 1, 4, 5.
Be careful, buddy.
And there's
Don't be dumb.
it's gonna go ahead and jump into the rot here just to go ahead and brave that space and separation over there. And so it's like stepping into the mold and fungus. It's gonna take a dash action to go ahead and run around. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. It's gonna go this way. It's trying to stay as far away from that as possible. It's just going, ah, ah, ah. All right. The Avatar is gonna use its last legendary action to go ahead and do Shift Disposal.
No, don't.
No! I don't.
Oh, fuck you.
That guy's gonna end his turn right there, and you now feel that like pull from behind you as it shifts closer to this edge of the battlefield. That's gonna go ahead and bring back to the top of the initiative round with Rathaniel. As you are standing here in the middle of it, impacted, holding this light, you can't help but be touching the clusters of mycelium across the ground. And for the first time since you first contacted this 5 years ago, you connect with the spirit of the heart there in this immediate proximity, and that welcoming warmth fills you, that odd sense of calm and belonging. And whereas once it shunted you and told you, no, you cannot, here it says, please, help. There is a sense of fear and worry and confusion within it. And as it both pulls from the light of your kernel, it also appeals to the fear of the destruction of its people.
I'm going to fully commune with it. I'm going to hold onto this kernel and clasp it tight in my hand so that the light doesn't hurt the mycelium. And I am going to fully open my mind to it, as open a telepathic channel as I have ever had. I'm going to let it see every nightmare I have ever had about Despasul. I'm going to let it see every moment of fear and vulnerability of this coming entity. And I'm going to say, to the best of my knowledge, the creatures that your elder has allowed into the heart of your kingdom have come here to destroy you and everything. The god they worship is worse, more alien and cruel than the Hungry One itself. And I'll connect to Karna here as well and open that channel even wider to let you know, I know you worship the devil of my religion, but we're on the same team here. And literally being better that a soul should feed someone than be thrown away. And I'm going to just let all of that into the mycelium.
Okay. As you connect with it and release these thoughts, these memories into it, the cold fear that you felt in that isolation and curiosity and terror of those flashes extends and quakes through the mycelium. Your memories blend and bleed with it, and as it receives your thoughts, you begin to receive some of its history. Rich, hundreds, thousands of years of existence beneath here, free from everything. This isn't just a society. This is the third part of the cycle of Calorum. There is the bulb which gives light and life. There is the hungry one that consumes and gives shadow. And the mycelium is what brings the cycle back between the two. It is through this space that life can subsist. And in the balance of the three, this land continues forward. And in this moment, you truly understand more than probably anybody in the history of Calorum's existence what all this might mean. Make a persuasion check for me.
I have not used my action. Might I cast Enhance Ability with my last second level spell slot?
I'll allow that, yeah.
Okay, I'll give myself advantage on charisma checks and I'll cast.
Looks like we made it.
That's going to be a 22.
That's a 22. As you connect, you feel the fear and the quaking sense of the mycelium begin to subside, and that warmth returns, and that moment of connection between the two of you fills you with a sudden confidence. You felt alone for so long, and even amongst the friends you've made, you've climbed a bit out of that hole. In this moment, you don't just feel connected to this being, you feel connected to the land, you feel connected to Calorum. And at that moment, all of the mycelium in the room begins to release spores around them. You've unlocked layer actions for the mycelium to your benefit.
Yes!
We'll take
Boom!
Yeah!
Let's go!
So with that, that's your action. Do you have any movement you'd like to take?
once I feel the mycelium understanding the threat as I understand it, and I think I don't know enough about how it's connecting to me, and I'm like, I can telepathically communicate with my allies out there. Better for me to stay in the fungal network.
Okay.
And I think even understanding that I am food and that this thing feeds on rot, I'm not gonna fight it if this thing starts to like feed on me like I've seen other fungus feed on things. I'm just like, it's important for me to stay connected to this right now.
You got it. Well, indeed, because it is a fungus, at the beginning of your turn rushing in here, you do, which I should remember that, you do take 6 points of poison damage as the mold begins to just instinctively reach out and siphon off the nutrients that is your body. That does, with that check though, stave that off, and you feel it begin to pull away from you.
Okay. And my bonus action, I'm just going to communicate again with that telepathic connection to Karna. I'd let you feel that I don't know if I'll be able to get out of this, and just say,
If all we ever manage to do is keep this thing out of our world, we will have done more than we imagined.
And I'll give you my last bardic inspiration.
Oh, thanks. Is it D8?
D8.
Okay, I'm not.
All right. Does that finish your turn, Nathaniel?
That finishes my turn.
Sir Colin Provolone, it is your turn.
I think I'm going to just take 2 attacks, just because I'm here.
Okay. Against the Avatar?
Yeah, against the Avatar.
You got it.
I've got the Elder.
Okay. So first attack, it's only a 13.
I will say, technically, you are catty-corner to Karna, which means you do have the boss currently pincer attack, so you have advantage on the attack. Well, you are poisoned still, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which means, yeah, so those are the 2 rolls, unfortunately. Which, by the way, make a Constitution saving throw to see if you get rid of the poison.
Oh.
So those are your 2 attacks, then, is what it would be.
Okay. So I make the con save to see if I...
No, yes, so you remain poisoned. You, yes, also make a con save at the end of your turn. Both of your attacks missing, unfortunately. The poison coursing through your body. As driven as you still are, the strength is being sapped from you.
Okay, I'm gonna also do my second wind.
Okay.
Get some health back.
Go for it.
That's a 1 on the die, so this is, I get 7 health back.
Hey, it all helps.
So this is a pretty good turn.
Welcome to my world.
I'm going to, I guess I will, since I took those attacks, regardless of if I hit, I can move away without being, hit by her.
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna run back and get on this bagel platform.
Okay. You jump onto the bagel platform, and it kind of like rocks. Looks like it had fallen kind of in its space as one of the other like standing statue-like pillars, and it just kind of like fell over and it's rocking in an odd weighted way, but you step onto it and kind of hold your position there.
And I yell, Deli, get out of there.
I will. I have business with this one, and I'm gonna turn to face the Elder.
And then this is my con save. Jesus.
Oh my God, 3, 2, and 3.
This guy's retired.
Oh, yeah, put that one away.
And then, yeah, that's everything I can do.
Okay, that finishes your turn. That brings it now to the Avatar's go. It gets its legendary actions back. It's going to devour the flesh against you.
What are these powers? Nowhere in the PHB. Nowhere.
That is going to be a 24 to hit you, Delisandro.
Oh, idiots,
Silvery
man.
barbs.
Okay, yeah. As the mouth begins to pull you in within proximity. Secondary roll. That's a natural 1.
Oh, yeah, Mama!
Damn it!
The power
Okay.
of love! Run!
Who's getting advantage?
I'll take it. No. Deli.
As it tries to pull you into its maw, just grinding. You're about to be sucked in, kind of arms clasped to the side of its mouth, and now like holding it at bay as it's like pulling you back in. And at that moment, you hear Karna call out to you, and that burst of anger and inspiration hits, and you just push away. It's gonna use its bonus action to create disposal. Oh! The chair gets pulled in and just ground to nothing. Oh. Half of the battlefield now is just a spinning torrent of metallic blades and shadow.
How does it look? Does it look like it is even remotely...
It's taking some hits.
Fuck this thing.
At the 20 count, actually, we do have the legendary action. There's 2 of them here. Let's do Restore Fungus.
Oh.
The shattered bits of the Saprofian that was ruined over here reemerge as a freshly born fungus as well. And it's going to go ahead and help on your turn.
Okay.
as the battlefield continues to grow darker, you feel the sense of shadow begin to really permeate the space around you. The presence of the Avatar is starting to sink into your head. The sheer terror of it is causing your vision to blur and twist.
It's bad here, everyone.
This guy is going to go ahead and, actually, we shouldn't create it anywhere. So it's going to go ahead and create it on this side, and the fungus is going to rush in and attempt to attack the Avatar from this end for a natural 19. All right, way to go, little guy.
Go, fungi!
For an additional 8 points of damage to the Avatar.
I forgot about the wound also.
Right.
Good call, good call.
Yeah, take it.
That's a 4 on the roll, so it takes another D4.
So 3 damage.
Another 3 damage. It's great. Okay. That comes to Quiche's turn. Quiche begins his turn.
You're still here, dude?
Yeah, it goes back to his turn. He starts within it, so he immediately takes a shit ton more damage. That's rough. It takes another 25 points of damage.
Ooh. Christmas.
No, Quiche just... You see egg and bacon spatter across the nearby space as he is annihilated within the mouth. Karna, it's your go.
Yeah, I think Karna sort of behind this Avatar, the moment she screamed no, using silvery barbs, you see that like that eye that she cut out just immediately rots and splinters open, and like her clothing can no longer hide how much she's rotting because she's gone through just about every gift she's gotten from the Hungry One. But we do it again. Green Flame Blade will attack. I don't have to move in, so bonus action steady aim to give myself advantage.
You got it.
Okay, plus 8, dirty 20 to hit.
That hits.
All right.
My bardic inspiration can also be used as damage dice if you're casting a spell.
Well, dude, we're doing that then. Yeah.
Put it in.
Throw it in there. Okay.
And my bardic is a D8. I'm not sure if that's what you're
Oh
using.
shit! I rolled the wrong thing then.
No worries.
Then it's gonna be lower. I bet the next one's gonna be lower because I tempted fate. Yeah, of course it was a 1 instead.
Oh no! I'm so sorry.
That's unfortunate.
That's how it works.
Yeah. Okay. 5, 11, 12, 13, 17 points.
17 points of damage. You've got it. All right. It's going to use 2 legendary actions to go ahead and turn around. And kind of lean forward as the suction begins to pull towards you for a 20 to hit.
Hits.
Karna, having stabbed the siphoned psychic energy and all the power and anger.
Hold on.
Yeah?
Fuck that shit. Do it again. Last spell slot.
last silvery barbs?
Yeah, last silvery barbs because
As
it
you-
refreshes on my turn.
As you feel the suction in your hair, like being pulled towards it, your cloak flapping, and you watch as part of your cloak kind of enters the center of the mouth, and you watch the material get torn into thousands of tiny little shards of thread. It's a natural 19.
Yeah, sure.
You try and withstand before being pulled into its mouth. You take...
I'm fine. I got 4 temp HP. We're great.
No, we don't have that anymore.
Oh, it's gone.
Yeah, so this is
This is
Just a really bad-
This is a bad moment.
just quite bad.
It's gonna suck.
Oof. You take 35 points of piercing damage as you are pulled into the mouth and just feel the sensation of 1,000 daggers at once rending you from every angle. You barely manage to pull yourself from its mouth, bloody, exhausted, and just numb with ominous, ever-present pain. You limp onto your knees and still feel that suction from it and that sound, that horrible sound of whirring.
I think she's just got her hand on like the very edge of it, like not enough strength to push away, and it's just holding the edge of it, like no more.
Deli, it's your turn.
I think in the moment that you cast that silvery barbs, there is a warmth that appears on Deli's face that you haven't seen in a very long time. And I think as that attack happens, it's replaced again by a rage. Leave her! I'm going to make a goading attack I'm going to attempt to hit, and then...
You got it.
Does a 21 hit?
21 hits.
I'm going to make it a goading attack, so it's, I believe, like
It's a
DC
wisdom
17?
It's a wisdom saving throw.
Exactly.
To see if it attacks anybody that's not you, it has disadvantage, correct? That is going to be a 15.
Okay. I do 16 points of damage. I'm going to run and grapple the elder and attempt to start pushing him toward these blades right here.
You got it.
Ooh.
Not great. That's going to be a 14 for me.
Since this is a grapple attempt,
okay,
I'm pretty sure this is contested athletics.
Great.
If I recall, which is still advantage, it's the same roll.
Yes, 14 for me.
14 for you. For the elder, all right. That is 11. Natural 8.
Great. Yes, I stab the avatar and then turn around and just run and meet the elder. And I think with my detritor in front of me, just starting to push him back slowly toward these blades.
So it took 10 feet to get there.
Great.
And what's the rest of your movement after
30
that?
feet
30
left.
feet. So that's 15 feet that you could both push together.
Great.
So that's 5, 10, 15. That gets him right up against the lip of this.
Yeah.
It also puts you within the 10-foot radius.
Of the, okay, yes, that's okay.
But it is there in front of you, and you're just pushing this elder back as it's like digging its staff into the ground against the floor. You see the bits of Ceresian stone and the elements of like broken, weird pieces of toast and Cheerios and whatever else is kind of ingrained in there is like tearing and pulling free as it tries to hit itself into the ground. You see it sending these like fungal roots in so it will stop, but you're just too strong and too focused as it barely gets up to the lip of the blades, teasing at its heels.
Can I have a bonus action attack as well?
I'll allow it, yeah.
Okay, great.
That's what your build's about.
That's what it's about.
Did you use my...
I did on the goading attack
Okay,
to make
cool,
sure
cool,
that
cool.
hit. Okay, that's a 26 to hit.
Yeah.
Can I use multiple maneuvers in a turn?
Yeah.
I'd like to use a pushing attack with the back half of the blade to see if I can push him in. So that's a DC 17 strength saving throw.
Strength saving throw.
Come on, baby.
I'm not even joking. It's a 12 plus 3, it's a 15. So go ahead and roll damage.
Great. Reroll once. That is going to be 10 points of damage, and I'll push him an additional. I'll push him into the
Get him.
disposal.
So you push him up against the edge, and now he's resisting you openly. You then kind of release for a second, spin your spear, and whack, crack up right in what you think the sternum is. And as you do, ends up falling back.
Yes.
The elder. Alrighty.
That I think I will live to get slammed down big.
Unbelievable.
Fantastic.
Can I make a request?
Yes, you may.
It's a cheeky one, you can say.
I like
no.
cheeky.
I didn't give my advantage for my last silvery barbs. Since we are connected telepathically, can I please send it to Rafael?
All right.
Cool. And I send that along with like every moment we've interacted since she, like back when she was like 12 and 13, pretending to be Jacru and you were like an informant of hers, and all of the like weird desire for a paternal figure, and every time you've looked out for her. And that comes along with it, and that last bit of advantage.
You got it. As the elder is pushed into the blades, previously most of the smaller things that were being ground within with little impact to the scenery around it, the elder is a massive creature, and as it kind of reaches out to grab the sides and the grinding hits, the room quakes a little bit. You watch as like the stone monuments kind of shake in place, kind of showing this kind of loose mooring to the actual floor. The whole room itself, slightly unstable in the presence of these holes. That's going to end Deli's turn. Amango, you're up.
I'm just gonna go up and attack this the avatar with my rapier.
Okay, at the top of the turn, I need you to make a strength saving throw because you are within 10 feet.
Oh, beans.
Right. 14 plus 2, 16.
The DC on these is 16 exactly.
Wow.
Incredible.
Yippee, oh, yippee.
Actually, no, sorry, it's 14. You've got it.
Still. So I'm gonna run up and I'm gonna just attack her with my rapier.
All right.
Here we go, I'm on go.
No! I missed. Can I silvery barb myself?
Is Karna still behind? Because you're flanking, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
Karna
You're
would be.
actually behind. It's facing
Yeah,
you now.
so you can sit there. So now
So I have advantage?
You have
you have
advantage.
advantage on the strike, so it's turned away towards you.
God, thank you so much.
That back
Pro bono.
is so nasty.
No!
What was the second roll?
You don't want to know.
Okay.
She's a failure as a warrior.
No, you're doing great.
All right.
To be fair, this is a lot to go up against, and she's just still stealing herself. She's not out of the game yet.
She takes no. Do I take a bonus action to get the fuck out of there? There's nowhere else to go. Yeah, I think that's all I've got.
It's going to use its last legendary action at the end of your turn, Amango, to shift disposal. This is going to grind across the ground right over here to buttress against the side. Kind of tearing into the earth as it does. Finishing that turn is now the Elder's go. At the top of the round, the Elder takes full damage on the inside of that for 26 points of piercing damage to the Elder, and it's going to try and muscle itself out with a strength saving throw, and it manages to do so. Right back out, but that's its turn. It had to use its full action to even emerge from that, and it's still within the tug
Knock it
of
back
it.
in.
I'm gonna push it back in.
Knock it back in.
Let me be very clear about the game plan from this point
I'm
forward.
gonna push it back in.
That's fair. That's fair.
All right, this FDA guy, even if he took him like half damage, he's grounded in nothing. That's Profian Warrior there, has to make a strength check. That won't do it. He gets pulled in. But he was also fighting kind of against you guys, at least in the moment, a little kind of caught off guard by all of this. And he's gonna go ahead and take the same damage. All right. So that'll do that much damage there. And then that guy there, the one who just got summoned, is gonna attempt to and he succeeds. So he resists the tug of it. That brings us to the remaining members of the FDA. This guy is just gonna go ahead and run this way up to the side and realizes that that biscuit's in the way and is like freaking out, is like trying to push it. He's gonna attempt to make a strength check to get it to move. The natural one, he does not. He is now just flailing and like crying to himself, trying to push this massive stone biscuit to no avail. The Senator, Ariana, who is on her turn at the top, trying to make a strength saving throw, but she can't resist because she is currently under the effect of hallucinatory spores.
No.
Has disadvantage on this.
Wait, actually, good. I hope you fucking die. I hope you die unhot.
Gets pulled into the center of this.
Good.
Without even making a sound, just kind of like gets pulled in. And as you kind of glance over your shoulder, you watch in slow motion as she begins to come back to awareness from the spores. Look at you with this look of what's happening.
Oh no.
Before you see her vanish in the hole, and then spray of viscera in the vicinity, hitting the back of your face and shoulder.
I'm not enjoying this. I'm actually enjoying that.
Telepathically, you put a lot of pressure on your first time. It doesn't, it should be with someone who's not in a cult, I feel like.
Maybe.
You're ruining it for me. Stop.
Oh God, that's right. I mean, it's like a good cult, a better cult. This is a good cult.
What the fuck's a good cult?
You wanna pop your cherry with someone with a rad cult.
Thanks, bro.
This is like a mushroom talking to you.
Yeah, I think I'm becoming part of a mushroom god consciousness, but I want to say, you and Karna are really cute together.
I tried.
All right, that brings us to the top of the combat round once more. Nathaniel.
I think for me, what I'm interested in first of all, so I can only resist the poison condition at the end of my turn.
Correct.
Okay. If I were to pump a cure wounds into the mycelium network, would it be possible for it to trigger, because you said restore fungus was the name of that layer ability?
Yes.
If I pump another cure wounds into the mycelium network, could I potentially have a chance to trigger another restore fungus?
You can certainly give it a shot if you'd like to.
Ooh, that's very cool.
I'll give it a little shot, just like dumping. I've been a wicked, evil, nasty priest my whole life. And you hear at the end of things, I'm finally fucking healing something. That's going to be 7 hit points cured to.
As you release this energy into the mycelium network around you, you watch kind of the blue pulsing power that comes into the centers the first time you've watched it reverse and disseminate into the ground around you. And as it gathers, where would you like this other newly formed fungus warrior to appear?
Do I get the sense from the mycelium as well, Matt, that spores plan was total bullshit, and that the Archbishop Cauliflower, that the plan was to do this the whole time? Or is there some part of the mycelium that actually is prepared for this big spores release?
Make an insight check.
That's gonna be a 19 insight.
19 insight is quite decent. You get the sense that as you're connecting here and feeling out, indeed, all of these fungus have been rapidly feeding the extension of the mycelium. It never crawled that close to the surface except for certain key moments in which it would withdraw when different scavengers were going out during night under the cover of shadow to bring minerals and materials from the surface realm back to Saprophus. But it has extended all around the city and been gathering and preparing to indeed poison everyone within Pangranos. It doesn't have a sense of morality or social connection with the surface folk, and this was a promised scenario that would allow its people to feed and be well for generations to come and stop the end of the world based on how it was being convinced. So this turnout, you sense, was a betrayal to what was agreed upon between the heart of the mycelium and the Archbishop.
I am going to communicate to the mycelium more broadly and to every Saprofian that I can through that network and just say,
You will have the ability to eat well, but not at this cost. The death and decay brought by this would unleash nothing but the discovery and destruction of your hidden kingdom. You have been lied to and deceived by the Sanctus Putris. This plan is the ruin of your people made manifest. Believe me when I say this.
And to the one that I manifest in front of it, I will say,
the avatar of the Didas Basul intends for the ruin of your people to the pursuit of the shredding of all.
And I will communicate like knocking her prone, dragging her, grappling her, like something about like throwing her into the teeth itself is what I'm communicating to the new Saprofian warrior there.
You've got it. Okay. Saprofian warrior emerges and it will take its turn at the end of the next layer action. All right. Does that finish your turn?
That finishes my turn.
Okay. With that, I'm going to go ahead and bring it to you, Sir Colin Provolone.
Oh, no. It seems like you got the Elder, right?
Yeah.
I think Colin, just screaming, scared, is just going to run in and try to attack.
Okay.
Attack her in the back, and then we'll see what happens from there. Ah! Okay, that's a 16. Oh, and I do this with disadvantage still, right?
You do, yes.
So this is the other one.
But you have advantage because of
flanking.
Flanking?
It's directly across. It's not just like two different opposite sides.
Gotcha.
Okay, so yeah, that was the 7 on the first one, so 16 on the first one.
16 still hits.
Okay, and so the
exact that just hits.
Okay, whew. Okay, and so my second attack with disadvantage, that's not gonna hit. But yeah, that one's not gonna hit. But I will do this with sneak attack.
You can totally sneak attack. Go for it.
Okay. This is going to be 6, 10, 17 damage with the DC 15 con save as well.
You got it. That is going to be an 18 on the con save.
And I'm just going to be like, I have to keep running away.
You did enter the 10-foot space, so just be mindful. If you try and move outside of that, you can feel the tug towards it.
Got it. I'm gonna just literally run back to the exact same spot that I was. Everybody do this! Everybody do this!
You run back, and it does get an opportunity to attack on you.
Oh, but I attacked it.
Oh, but you did. That's right. That's right. That's part of your kit. Never mind. You are good. You run on away. No strike against you.
Run away.
Alrighty.
And also, can we just resolve my? I'm going to use my advantage to poison saving throw at the end of my turn if we forgot to.
Oh yeah, let's do that.
Man.
Oh.
2 6s.
Oh no!
Oh
my God.
I guess I should do that.
You should do that as well, yeah.
Okay. 14?
14 makes it. You shrug off the poison. It no longer courses through your veins from the spores.
Did you throw up a little bit?
Yeah.
Colin, are you okay?
I'll be okay.
Good.
There's a lot of worse things to do as well, so. He's embarrassed.
Before we get to the Avatar's turn, we do have the layer action, which does not repeat itself. So instead it goes to regenerative spores. The network releases these like softly blue glowing spores akin to the color of the glow that it disseminates throughout the halls and tunnels. Everybody in this room, within this group, regains 6 hit points.
Okay.
Incredible.
We're looking better.
Now it comes to the Avatar's turn.
Oh
And the Avatar,
Is my goading attack still in effect?
yes, it does get a disadvantage on the strike until it comes around to the end of its turn or the beginning of your next turn. Either way, yes, it would still be in that space.
Great.
Oh. Yeah, sorry. It's gonna go ahead and no, I'm not. It's gonna devour the flesh again on you. Okay, that is gonna be a 24 to hit.
I have 1 second level spell slot left. Silvery barbs.
Wait, let me silvery barbs it. I silvery barbs it. No, please, but let me. No, please, let me.
All right.
Sure, thank you.
I'm out of first level spells.
It's a 25. A good try, a good try.
The attempt was noble.
You still get to give advantage to somebody.
Oh, I'm gonna give it to myself.
Jesus.
Gonna die.
That's gonna be 38 points of slashing damage.
And 37 hit points.
No
I'm
fucking
down.
way.
Yeah.
When it reduces a target to 0 hit points or less, they are killed.
Yep.
Karna, if you would like to describe to me these final moments before you are lost into the bladed void of the Avatar's throat.
She's exhausted. There's nothing left. She's like holding on to the edge of it. And she feels like that very beginning of the tug again. And then she smiles because she died 9 years ago. All of this has just been a bonus. And the hungry one may be the devil. But how bad could he be? Because I got to be here. I got to know friendship and love and trust. And that can't be bad. And her last look is over to Deli. And then she just gives up.
Deli, as you are combating this elder, there's something in the back of your mind, in the back of your heart, just draws your attention over your right shoulder, right as you see that last smile and look on Karna's face before she vanishes into the mouth. A spray of viscera against the surrounding stone, and she is gone forever.
It be that way sometimes.
The creature
Fine, this is a very fun game. I love playing joke things on Dimension 20.
around here to shift. Yeah, it moves. It does get an attack of opportunity from the 2 Saprofians that are there. The first one attacks.
And me, right?
No, it moved
Oh, it's in
around
my-
you.
okay, it's in
That is unfortunately not going to hit with a 15. It just misses. The other one does hit. So the one that you just summoned strikes it for an additional 7 points of damage. As it moves over, it's going to use its bonus action to shift disposal. This disposal here that the Bullet Elder is up against is going to glide into the center of the base of the mycelium across the ground. Oh my God. You would see it if it weren't now pulling in strands of the heart of the mycelium and threatening a particular hidden exhibition. That is going to finish the Avatar's turn. I need Deli to take his.
I think there is a white, hot watching Karna get murked is like there's like no past and there's no future. There's only this moment, and I think the elder no longer matters. This thing has to die. I think Deli is going to turn, scream, and just run at the Avatar.
Right up to its front, spear drawn at the ready.
Great. Make my first attack. 19 to hit.
19 hits.
Great. I use my last maneuver to push, so we're out of those. Reroll ones. First attack does 13 points of damage. Second attack, 17 to hit.
That hits.
Another 13 points of damage. Bonus action back of Detritor. That's going to be another 17. Great. That's 10 points of damage with the back. I think it's the only thing that Deli wants to feel right now is piercing this being in whatever way he can.
Got it.
And that's it.
Okay. Finishing at the end of your turn, it's going to go ahead and spend 2 of its legendary actions to devour the flesh on you.
Oh my God.
That's an extra 20.
I have, as given to me by my station, I have adamantium armor and immune to and am
Yes,
immune
you
to
are.
critical hits. So you could just roll that normal, my guy.
Yeah. Yeah, I
You roll
am.
that normal.
Yeah, I am. Oh, I was like, oh no. Oh yes, but yeah, you know what I mean.
Oh my God.
Okay. That is 40 points of piercing damage.
Halved to 20.
Because you are
raging.
Yes, you are. That is 20 points.
Holy shit. You can't put a full pastrami sandwich in the garbage disposal.
You really can't.
You can't
No,
put
especially not.
Ask
And that's
any plumber. Ask any plumber.
That is also a metal toothpick. That will clog up the thing.
No, you get a toothpick right in your hand. You put a toothpick in the garbage disposal.
That's like a cheesecake. You can't do it.
Oh my God.
Incredible.
Amango,
Yeah.
beginning of your turn.
I'm
40 points.
completely like just everything in this battle has been nothing but bad. And then seeing her getting devoured by this thing, she is
Going to make a strength saving throw.
going to make a
within 10
strength saving
feet
throw
of one of
because she
these
has to get
disposals.
away from the thing. Oh, please make this strength saving throw. Threshold 20.
Yeah.
God.
All right.
You feel yourself being tugged towards it, and your feet begin to pull against the ground.
I'm
Just
like, the fuck you will! And I just go towards her.
you got it.
And she doesn't say fancy things anymore.
No, you're good.
She just doesn't.
There's no time.
There's no time for fancy. So now I'm gonna go and I'm gonna try to sweep its legs with my rapier as a sneak attack.
You got it.
You died.
17 plus 8, 25.
That definitely hits. Go roll damage.
5d6 plus the actual damage.
Showing some hurt and wear and tear on the Avatar, by the way. The body is starting to pull apart, and where the flesh breaks and the black liquid and ichor begins to drip from, you can see within like weaves of metal, like shifting and moving beneath.
Double damage. You halved it twice. That was about to be 80 damage.
7 and 4 is
You
11.
had it twice.
11 and 2 is
Adamantium and
13,
then the rage.
13,
That went from 80 to 20.
17 plus 1d.
You made a bad thing. You made a really bad thing, man.
This is because I made a ghost pepper joke one time. Damn it. Got bit in the ass immediately.
You thought you were
21.
Carolina Reaper, but
21?
Yep.
Alrighty.
And then since that was just my action, I am going to disengage, which I need to do, right? I disengage and run away from the garbage disposal.
Which direction?
Right next to Provolone.
It's kind of okay up here.
Not yeah, I still want to be close enough to, I want to be, yeah.
There you go. All right. Does that finish your turn?
Movement, just a bonus action, yes.
You got it. All right. It is now the Elder's go. The Elder steps into the fray here. Releases poisonous spores in the vicinity around it. I need Amango, I need Provolone, and I need Deli to make Constitution saving throws.
You know what I mean? Like, I keep doing it.
Not now. I'm avenging the person I was gonna lose my virginity to.
Oh my God, I died a virgin.
What do I get?
We're all going to die virgins here, I'm afraid.
No.
Constitution.
22.
22, 6 points of poison damage to you.
15.
And 6 points of poison damage to you. You take 12 points of poison damage, and you are repoisoned.
Is the avatar in the blast of this at all, or no?
The avatar is unaffected by poison.
This is delightful.
It's mostly blades.
It do be mostly teeth, though.
It do be mostly blades.
That is going to finish the Elder's go. Now that brings us to the Sephiroth, which is going to immediately at the top of its turn take. Yeah, it's done. And then bringing us back to the top of the combat round. Rathaniel, you should make a strength saving throw for me.
Does poison give you disadvantage on saving throws?
No, just ability checks.
Okay. So I'm gonna let you know right now this is a strength saving throw. I have 21 hit points left. I get a -2 to strength saving throws.
Oh my God.
Natural 20.
That's a 12. 14 -2.
The DC is 14. So, as the ground opens up and the blades spin and churn and grind, you reach out to the mycelium and grab a hold for all the strength you have, and it tears the sheer volume of pressure pulling you towards this mouth. You take 24 points of piercing damage.
24 points of piercing damage. I'm at 21 currently. That's gonna bring me to 0.
Rathaniel, if you would please describe for us your final moments.
I've connected to the first place that ever felt like home. I've spent my life lying, torturing, ruining. All to help people that lied to my face. I have been a fool and a wretch and wasted my life.
And I'm going to sink into the teeth and say,
my mind and heart were garbage. Let them be disposed. But let my body serve the only warmth I have ever known. Let my bones be as eggshells, that they may calcify and glue. Let my muscle be as coffee grounds to wear down and grind. Let me serve as rice to expand in the water of my blood. Let it rupture in the name of the...
A spray of now liquefied radish colors the inside of the small opening to the heart of the mycelium. In an odd way, the thing that always haunted you as the eventuality you would meet also delivered you to be the closest you've ever been to anything that mattered. Colin Provolone. Sir.
So good.
Steal yourself, Colin! Steal yourself!
This is me stealing myself!
I have to hit it. I have to hit it. I just have to keep hitting it.
I was crying. So scared. We just tried to look at Deli. We just have to.
We have to. We have to. We have to.
We just have to.
To get within motion, you can either move in next to it.
Yeah.
You could move on the opposite side to get advantage to your attack, but you will get an attack of opportunity from the Elder. So, not if you disengage.
Oh, yeah. I'll disengage. and get behind it.
All right. You are now. So now.
You gotta get in there. You gotta get in there. You gotta get in there and get it done. You gotta get in there.
Stop.
Sir Colin Provolone, as the numbness of this loss kind of washes over you and you find the focus in that buzzing numbness, you dash around the back of this entity and flank the avatar with the person that chose you from obscurity and for a number of years kept you by his side. In that period of time, that alienation may have separated you, but in this moment, in this necessity, that kinship puts you both at the charge. You have advantage on your strikes, which as a poison brings it to a singular roll.
Okay. I'm just gonna. As the piss trickles down his legs. Provolone. Will attack.
Come on, Provolone.
Does a 15 hit?
15 just misses.
Oh, no.
Second attack. Does a 25
That
hit?
definitely hits.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll damage.
And let's just action surge. Let's just do it.
Okay. Go all in. So that's one hit. You have 2 more attacks. Okay.
Come now, Scald.
17.
17 hits.
Like 3 seconds.
It does its on death. It does pass
And it's
immediately on death.
So 2 hits that go through. Go ahead and roll damage for each.
All right, first one
One of them was a sneak attack, right?
is a sneak attack.
Indeed.
And
Your last
I'm-
moments, I think of you as Karna, not you. He was Scald. You're Karna. You're more than a title.
That makes me feel better. Thank you.
Okay. Just thinking these thoughts into the ether, being like, no, hey, universe, just so you know.
21 damage on the first hit.
21 damage on the first hit.
21 damage plus the DC 15 wound.
Indeed.
And then the second attack.
Fails with a 6.
Okay. And then that's great. Second attack, I'm gonna just try to do the maneuver, my last maneuver, and do a pushing attack. Regardless, I do the damage, right?
Yes, regardless.
Okay. So this would be 15 damage.
So Colin Provolone, how do you want to do this?
Crying, pissing himself, shaking, remembers the people that he shared this journey with, even if they weren't necessarily, if they were his best friends. Pulls up his sword, shaking, nods to Nelly.
Do it, Scald.
Misses wildly, hits, and hits again, and uses this pushing attack to launch it, hopefully, into the disposal teeth next to it with all his strength.
The second strike impacts the side of its torso, and it is unmoving. Angrily, you put your boot up against the side of that same piece of side toast that you've been kind of hanging on to and shout out as you push off with all of your weight, shoulder slamming the creature. It stumbles off of its right leg, tries to catch itself as it rotates. You watch as it's staring at you with its terrifying eyes, the one bolt still sticking out of one as it just tilts. Stumble, stumble, stumble. Hearing the grinding of metal on top of the grinding of metal in the opposite direction, you watch as the blades break and spark. There is a continuous flash of shooting sparks, white hot and blue hot. It causes flames to begin to emit from the inside of both disposals. As the teeth grinds upon teeth, you hear this high-pitched scream as the avatar is blended and torn until eventually there is nothing left but gnarled, mangled rings of metal and stripped, bloody flesh. The other disposal comes to a stop. Inside the mycelium, only have torn but a little bit of the heart away, comes to a stop. The elder, watching this, expires, its body drying, its purpose left unfulfilled, and realizing the futility of its own attempts at nihilism.
Amango drops to her knees, drops her rapier and dagger, and just desperately tries to reach out telepathically to the bishop. There's always a bishop to me. And to Karna, just tries desperately, just asking, are you there? Please tell me you're there. Please tell me you're there. And when she hears nothing, she just collapses and just starts crying.
I think Deli walks up to Colin. Well struck.
Thank you. Did we do it?
I think we've averted one disaster. I can't tell. Can I make a perception check trying to figure out if the fungal release, the effect that was supposed to happen on Pengranos, is that still going to happen? Has the mood of this great mass changed?
There's one surefire way to check. As the room still glows with the permeation of surrounding mycelium.
I'll walk up and, for the second time, touch the glowing line.
You feel your essence reach out and connect and extend within it. The rest of you watch as Deli's face just kind of goes blank, and the eyes begin to glow with that pale blue coloration. This close proximity to it that matches the pulses throughout the entire city. You feel that connection, and the emotions that almost overwhelm you is gratitude. Gratitude and understanding, like feeling a child begin to put the pieces of a puzzle together. You think maybe for the first time it begins to understand the complexity of emotions that the surface dwellers wrestle with every day. And it begins to subside. You can sense the extensions of the mycelium that are now reaching beyond the various tunnels. From that point, connected to it, you can hear the sounds of battle, the detonations of cannon fire, the shouts of commands, the clashing of metal, the screams of soldiers falling in battle, and the mycelium withdrawals, the tunnels, collapsing behind as it does.
As I hold my hand to it, I think I look to Lady Amango, and I think of her child, and I think of the idea of them being reunited, and I wonder if the mycelium will allow us to go.
You think on this, and there's a unique dichotomy between an understanding you, complex people, and the long survival of its people thriving on the lack of knowledge of its existence. That same moment, as the mycelium withdraws, you get flashes of the Saprofians rising up against the remaining members of the architects. You see flashes of these robed figures screaming as they are torn apart by the citizens, the families, to maintain their silence. And then the attention comes back to you, and you feel this presence wordlessly convey, can you keep a secret?
I think in this moment, Deli feels deeply torn. But he knows, yes. Yes, he can.
How do you convey this to the entity? And not just you.
Yeah. What's going on? Just gonna sneak into your head and be like, is it saying anything? Hello? Is this thing on?
I think at this point, I do take my hand away and I turn to look at my friends. It fears that, it knows that its survival is based on its secrecy and the fact that the world above does not know about it. It is currently closing off any ability we would have to leave. And it asks of us if we could keep it secret.
I just start laughing. Laughing, knowing full well how many people have died for my secret. And I still kept it, knowing how wrong it was, knowing how awful it was that the two people who could potentially put together the fact that I had my baby's father killed because I was afraid he would tell people that I bore his child and not the king's. I beam as much as physically possible, the same way I beamed back to that little sweet mushroom creature at the beginning. I just beam back me and my baby and the protectiveness and just a sense of like, this is the only way my baby survives, so of course.
So you've extended your consciousness to this entity. You can retouch it to convey this if you wish. What about Sir Colin Provolone, Slayer of the Avatar?
Oh, I think Colin's gonna touch it for the first time. And assuming he hears a similar sentiment, we'll say, well, we have to. We have to keep the secret.
I would like the three of you to make a group persuasion check. Now, the DC on this is not that difficult. You have proven yourselves to have done quite a great good in its presence. But does it weigh that stronger than the good of its people? Go ahead and roll.
I still have advantage.
You do?
25.
So, rolled a 5, but when I add my charisma, it's a 3.
I rolled a 25.
I rolled a natural 1. For 8.
In this moment, connected with this creature, you sense a sadness and a maternal protectiveness of its children. And you all immediately understand that if you don't run now, you'll never see the bulbs light again.
We gotta
Book it.
go.
We
We
did.
gotta go.
Just like a...
That dude is like hiding and trying to push it over.
Push it.
Push.
But did you make any progress?
Not from his point, but he just screams and
this
pushes.
up.
All right,
You were doing the whole thing. You had all the time in the world.
all three of you make strength checks. He's going to be helping out as well.
Go.
That's gonna be a 27.
27.
That would be a 12.
12, okay. Between the three of you, this guy's no help at all. You all push it by as you watch the mycelium in the room begin to seep towards you, and you watch those bright blue spores begin to shift into a dark purple coloration. You push it out of the way and begin to run. The guy's following you through. What's going on? What are we doing?
Just
run! Okay! He goes running, and
Fucking
now
trip him.
whoa, poof, onto the ground. What? No! And as you start running down the stairs, down the halls, you're charging, you watch. The spores are emerging from the city around. Behind you hear, wait, it just keeps going. Rushing down the streets, rushing on. The Saprofians, the citizens, you can see like they're all kind of looking around confused. You see the tattered, torn bodies of various cultists around you. They look at you with a look of curiosity in their face before the pulse of purple begins to fill their eyes. What do you do as they begin to close off the street in front of you?
We're good.
Go, give me
We're good.
She's telling me to go. We're good. We're solid.
Sprint,
Can we just
try to sprint
Try to make
fast.
it.
Yeah,
Try to Indiana Jones that shit.
I would like to tackle them out of the way so that these two can keep running.
Okay, go ahead and make an athletics check for me.
That's gonna be 16.
16? You go ahead and, on their part, they got a 12. You immediately rush through, and with your beefy physicality, your broad shoulders, and the spear in front. You just charge and push the group of them out of the way while you two just manage to run by. It does put you a bit behind them, though.
That's all right. See her to the surface, and then I'll take off behind them. But
indeed, now the two of you have the ability as roguish characters to dash as a bonus action. You have a pretty decent speed, so you're running at a double movement of 80 feet, correct?
Yes.
So I could, if I did a full movement, 120.
Yeah, you can. So you can easily outmaneuver this.
I look at Amongo and say, "Oh, well, catch up."
Go, go, go.
And I double back
What? Oh, yeah.
to try to help get.
What are you doing, Colin?
Who's gonna watch your right? And just like try to help him up and just continue to run.
Okay, because you fell behind, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw as some of the spores out of the side of the road next to you.
That's gonna be an 11.
An 11. You take 13 points of poison damage as you begin to cough and cough and cough with bits of blood beginning to fill your throat, but you continue to run. The toxin has filtered into your system, but you're still pushing on. You continue to run past the city streets, winding through Soprophis. You can see the citizens kind of coming out, both to like greet you and also feel compelled to try and block your passage, but you have managed to maintain a pretty consistent gait. You eventually pass through and make it to the rot chamber where you had came through on the way back. Okay. Here, as you watch the deep recesses of the chamber begin to release clouds of toxin, do you take your time across the bridge and the platforms, or do you just book it?
I would book it.
We book it.
I'd like you all to make dexterity saving throws.
Oh, God.
Fucking Christ. Come on.
16.
25.
8.
The two of you go running past as you watch Deli kind of slip, land into the middle of the rot pit, slamming right as the spores kind of come again. Make another Constitution saving throw for me.
That's a natural 1.
That is another 9 points of poison damage.
Get up!
Yeah, I'm gonna pull myself up and keep chasing them.
Make an athletics check.
Go! That's an 18.
Okay, you pull yourself back up. The spores have caught up to you, and unless you continue to book it, you're going to be taking this every round. You all are just in front of this, so you continue forward?
Yeah.
Okay.
As we see him get up, we do.
Yeah.
All right. You charge up the tunnel and continue, him trailing behind. You get to the edge, jumping from platform to platform. I need you to make another Constitution saving throw.
That's gonna be a 9.
A 9. 12 points of poison damage to you, as now your lungs are on fire. You feel your legs growing sluggish. The numbness is traveling up the lower extremities. You can't feel your knees. You can't feel your feet. You can't feel your waist. Are you holding your spear still? You look down and it's still in your hand, but you can't feel your hand. Your vision's starting to blur a bit, and you just continue to run behind them. You can see them, you can hear them, and you're not sure if you'll be able to get there, but you know at least they're out of this cloud. You all begin to head up to where the first tunnels you came through are. Up there, you see that same tiny Soprofian kind of sitting there waiting patiently where it was sitting. The tunnel where you had arrived through has collapsed.
Can I make a perception check to see if there's any like other route that we can go?
Make a perception check.
That's only a 9.
I run over to the. I run over to. I see it. I run over to the, and I kneel in front of the little mushroom, and I just beam a picture of a mental image of us running out of the hole and me grabbing my baby and just this yearning to get out.
Make a persuasion check for me.
Oh God! Oh no!
And.
Oh. 13.
13? 13 isn't so bad. It looks at you, acknowledges, and it kind of points up to the secondary tunnel where it was hiding before, up that way. It is also collapsed, but you get the sense that it's pointing in that direction, possibly as your best way out.
Yeah. Of course, this is where the other, what are they called? FDA people came from. Let's go. We can run.
I'm gonna double back.
All right, make another Constitution saving throw for me. And you do as well as you now enter the spore cloud being released.
Oh no, come on, baby.
Another 9.
Another 9.
I got
7 points of poison damage.
19.
And 3 points of poison damage to you.
Colin, you have to get out of here.
Come on, just shut the fuck up. Drop the spear. Just go.
I dropped the spear.
Okay. You get up to the edge of this, and you can see like where the tunnel is collapsed here. It's just kind of a surface collapse. The rock's kind of fallen in, and they're holding this kind of semi-tenuous blockage to it, and it's too much for you to do. It is a heavy amount of rock.
Does it have can I use an acrobatics check to maybe like climb up it and see if there's any like
It's a
air?
thin tunnel.
It's completely blocked.
It's completely blocked. There is no light here beyond just the faint coloration of the mycelium, which you can hear behind you.
I scream back to the guys. It's caved in here as
I'm
well.
gonna run with my whole body and taking whatever damage. I'd like to run like full. I'm happy to injure all of these parts of my body if it means we make some sort of dent in this thing.
Make a strength check for me.
Because there was another.
Do you have any rage left?
I am out of rage. That's gonna be a 22.
DC on this was 20.
Woo!
You full bore slam into the rocks with all the might that the Meatlands has instilled with you of a lifetime of battle, conflict, and focus. Smash! The rocks give way and spill out. You see bulb light begin to peer down from the broken exterior of this tunnel. This is the surface, and you all push through just as the fume begins to pour out from this tunnel to follow you. You follow the trajectory of the chief out onto the surface just in time to wince as the light of the bulb in the sky is blinding you. From the impact of that run, take 9 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oh no.
Come on.
So you emerge from this tunnel, out of the side, the rocks kind of scatter around. Your eyes begin to focus, and you look at each other and realize you made it.
We did it. Now look at Deli, we got.
You look over, and Deli is face down on the ground, covered in blood.
I flip him over just to see if there's anything to, like, Deli?
He's unconscious.
Does
You can see the foam at the corners of his mouth from the toxin and spores that have taken root.
Can I make a medicine check?
You may,
Can I help?
if you want to.
I would like to.
Okay.
Do you have better medicine?
I do have better medicine.
Okay. Can I help you?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I
do
have
that.
a healing
Go ahead.
kit somewhere.
Do you have a healing kit?
I do have a healing kit. 18 plus 2, and then a help is advantage?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so 20. It's 20.
Between the roll and the healer's kit, you manage to staunch the spread of the toxins in the system and stabilize the chief, D'Alessandro Cazzon.
Just to make sure that we can get him moving and get all of us moving, I'm going to cast False Life, which is something that I couldn't do during battle because there was too much killing to do. And False Life will give all of us 1d4 plus 9 temporary hit points, which is 1. So 10 temporary hit points.
Okay. You now hear the tunnel that you just emerged from recollapses, causing a faint sinkhole here in the middle of the Ceresian field. It takes a few minutes in this kind of stunned silence as you both kind of process what had just happened, who you've lost, and who was saved. You slowly come to consciousness, D'Alessandro, and about the time you sit up, the throbbing pain in your head, you all hear this distant sound. The horns of victory sound out from the northward city of Pangranos. There you see the rising columns of black smoke, the damage the buildings and walls have sustained, and the signs and sounds of victory cheers throughout the streets. The battle is over, and with that, the ravening war. In the days that come, you find out that General Rocococo was slain as part of this struggle. But in vengeful focus and fury, the armies retaliate, and Lord Gustavo Uvano fires a legendary arrow into the very heart of Imperator Fakasha, the final beat that calls the end to that chapter. In its stead, the victorious alliance comes together to establish a future for Calorum that will ensure unity between the fractured lands. The concord is forged between the nations, and the lauded hero, Gustavo Ovano, is named the first concordant emperor to guide from within the soon-to-be finished Great Pyramid of Food in Kamira. The creation of the Concord is performed under the Bulbian Oath, expanding the Bulbian Church's reach far beyond the Vegetanian borders and imprinting the faith as the de facto religion in Calorum, expanding its influence exponentially. The Pax Calorum is established to centralize and maintain balance in military forces between the nations, while bolstering the central power of this Concord. But those are just above-board politics. D'Alessandro, what do you do in the wake of this?
I think Deli and maybe Colin spend some time together, but I don't think D'Alessandro ever is able to kind of resolve the feelings he had of his willingness and excitement at being a pawn in the games of others, and fears that the choice to return to Karn or to really to the world he knew would, in some way, he would inevitably end up in that space again. And so I think after a time, one day just slips away and follows in his mother's footsteps, leaving the land of the Great Cow and journeying north to be an outlander and to every morning watch the bulb rise over the red steeps of the meatlands until the end of his days.
Sir Colin Provolone.
I think Colin renounces his title. Probably both Scald and Sir.
Deli's cool with it.
And he just wants to spend some time making sure that Sanctus Putris is no more, and will try to just make sure that there's no little pockets of it anywhere, just so that our world is rid of that.
It takes a few years, but indeed you confirm Sanctus Putris was not a monolith, and there are pockets of it that still subsist in the world, if Colin chooses to spend the rest of his days hunting them.
I think he does.
Amango, where do you find yourself in the wake of this war?
If she wasn't already dying from guilt before all of this, just all she can think about is that she doesn't belong here. It should be Karna standing here, not her. Even the bishop, knowing what he had done and knowing what I had done. And she so desperately just wants to disappear, even though, like, I'm not good for my son, I'm not good for anyone on the planet. And then she remembers the safe house. So I think she goes back to Karna's safe house and figures out her way in, because she's a thief and a rogue and thieves' tools, and she showed her, and they were sisters and all. And she goes inside and looks for anything that Karna might have left behind that would be useful, any information, any of her whispers, any of the things to maybe help. She can't do anything with her station. She can't do anything with the named lady. She can't do anything to protect her son. He's fine. He's the ward of an emperor now. But she might be able to change things from the inside if she can just find that information.
What does she find amongst your files, Karna?
Karna, against better judgment, struggled to keep track of everything because she was young and didn't have much experience. So you will find scattered, stuffed in notebooks and under floorboards, pieces of like fine, thin onion vellum that look like they're covered with chicken scratch and scrawls. But if you find them all and stack them, it gives you one like beautifully handwritten list ledgers and balances and all of the secrets that she had not paid down yet and hadn't done anything with. Leverage.
What do you do with this information?
Oh, little sister, I'm so sorry, but I'm going to have to read your diary. I take this information. Is the name Vin Pinoir anywhere on there?
There's a little note. There's no balance attached to it because we did our business and it was done. But you see that kind of scrawled in the corner, things with that are untethered that I think you would surmise after a amount of time were some of her early works and regrets. Your name is nowhere near it, but it is written there. And a note of the evidence, the false letter that she planted on him.
I'm just gonna tear that little part out and burn it. And then I will take this back to Ovano. She says, my lord, I have something that may help you in these coming days. You shouldn't see it, but if you will allow me to be your spy master, I can do great good from behind the scenes.
I will be entirely honest. The pressures of stepping into the role of the Emperor has been weighing on me in recent months. All eyes are upon me. Perhaps that would be the perfect time with no eyes on you. I accept.
In the coming days, as she studies further in her roguish talents, she learns to disguise herself and to carry false images of herself around. And every single day in the morning, she talks to Karna. And every single night before she goes to sleep, she talks to her again. And continues to tell her how happy she is that she found love before she was gone.
Karna, what echoes of impact have you left in the world beyond the radical alteration of the once queen?
When I was summoned to stand by Deli's side outside of the war tent, I left a letter on his bed, hoping that he would see it if we made it back from the battle. And it says, my chief, baseline trust. The only secret I have left is that I love you. And I'm not brave enough to say it to your face. But if you call, I will come. Always. Thank you. Thank you for your friendship. Thank you for your trust. And thank you for giving me something to believe in beyond the horrifying inevitability of the Hungry One's embrace. Signed, and this is the only time she's given herself a title or referred to it. Scald Karna Solara of Scoville.
As you finish reading for the first time and fold it in your hands as you watch that bulb rise over the free northlands. Rathaniel, whatever happens to your collection of papers and scrawlings and truths that you've collected, what echoes have you left in the world in your wake?
There are very little truths that Rathaniel left in this world. Most of his scrawlings are the strategizing of a man driven to the brink of fanaticism and zealotry by spite and spite alone. What he realized in the final moments of his life was greater than all of his vast decades put together. There seems to be a running theme in Calorum of supposedly holy men having incredible insight into the workings of the cosmos in the last seconds of their life.
I'll say.
One of the last moments of terror Raphaniel feels as he is disposed of is knowing the hollowness of the vision of the world laid out in his scrawlings about the eschatology of the church, about the ending of the world, about the cosmos that is inaccurate and incorrect in his depictions of what is to come. So the echo that he leaves first and foremost is, as Archbishop Cauliflower has vanished overnight, his successor, the Archbishop of Greenhold, young Elizabeth Brassica, discovers his writings on the Ramseyan doctrine, on the Perfidian heresy, and also his writings on the threat posed by the Sanctus Putris, which, in addition to having been excoriated by the Saprophytes underneath Pangranos and having the most powerful members of their order hollowed out, now also has an incredibly dangerous cheese knight hunting them from the shadows. So the Sanctus Putris, of course, is on the outs, and Elizabeth Brassica is ascendant with the strength of those writings. And she, in addition to discovering those writings, I think also discovers the scrolls of genealogy in Raphaniel's study. All of those maps and plans laid out that made a young Raphaniel Charlock realize that if Arthur Cardoon never had an heir, that it would likely mean war.
In the wake of all of this, a time of great peace does ensue between the nations, as old kings pass their thrones to new generations of heroes, one such being the surviving heir to Castle Candy and his burgeoning royal family of House Rocks. But that's another story. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure. I've been your Dungeon Master, Matthew Mercer. I love you very much. Thank you. Well fucking done, y'all.